If you wanted to launch a campaign in 3 different countries last week, you had to run a gauntlet. You moved from prompt engineer to graphic designer to copywriter and finally to a specialized localization vendor. Achieving an authentic Japanese aesthetic, ensuring the kanji, the kerning, and the cultural nuances were accurate, required weeks of hand-tuning and cultural verification. That massive pipeline evaporated overnight. OpenAI's GPT-Image 2 model just entered the public testing arena and won an astonishing 93% of blind pairwise comparisons against human judges. This chart shows how extreme that victory is. The next best model, Nano Banana 2, tops out at 67%. OpenAI creates a massive 26-point gap. Historically, top models trade places by 3 points. A sudden 26-point leap means the rules changed. The rules changed because OpenAI merged its reasoning stack directly into the visual stack. By treating generation as a reasoning workload, it absorbs the researcher, the layout designer, and the QA team into a single process. OpenAI built 3 distinct internal mechanisms to make this work. First, the model enters a 10 to 20-second thinking mode. Before it draws a single pixel, it actively plans out the typography hierarchy, object placement, and constraint logic. Second, it integrates live web search directly into the generation loop. If the prompt requires specific real-world facts, the model stops, looks up the current data, and builds those facts into the composition. You can ask for an illustration of the Strait of Hormuz, rendered in the style of a children's book, and the system will pull live web results to ensure the underwater depth layers map to accurate geological data. Third, the model guarantees strict visual continuity. You can request up to 8 separate frames from a single prompt, and it will maintain perfect character and style consistency across the entire set. Wrapping around all 3 of these features is a self-verification pass. After the image is drafted, the system reads its own output and checks it strictly against your original instructions. This loop functions entirely in the background. It autonomously spots typos and corrects misalignments before you ever see the final file. By combining the ability to plan, search, and verify, the software stops acting like a passive tool. It operates as an autonomous, iterative design agency running at machine speed. For product teams, this eliminates days of friction. A product manager can describe a new settings page in natural language, and the system will return a flawless UI mockup complete with precise typography and realistic copy. This mockup serves as a direct compilation target, allowing a separate coding agent to read the visual and build live software immediately. Brand strategists see a similar collapse in their workflow. They can generate an entire cohesive brand system from one solitary prompt. A single request instantly yields a full architectural floor plan, a coordinated materials palette, and multiple distinctly styled interior room shots, all holding true to the same core aesthetic. Visual artifacts used to dictate the handoffs between siloed teams. Now they are instant, programmable assets generated natively inside automated loops. But deploying flawless reasoning carries an immediate cost. Every perfect workplace capability we just looked at has a destructive adversarial twin. The exact same logic that formats a complex Japanese restaurant menu can be pointed the other way to forge critical evidence without leaving a trace. Anyone with a free account can now generate hyper-realistic pharmacy labels with accurate drug dosages, falsified Slack screenshots from specific users, and corporate expense receipts. Traditional security measures offer zero protection here. Invisible watermarks and content credentials do not survive a simple screenshot or an image crop. The entire evidence layer of consumer internet culture, photographs of signage, screenshots of messages, printed tickets, has effectively collapsed. For knowledge workers, the takeaway is absolute. The era of being highly valued for your manual execution craft is over. The new ceiling for your career rests entirely on your ability to write ironclad, crystal-clear specifications. Your leverage comes from how precisely you define your intent. When flawless visual execution requires 3 minutes of computing time, the market will reward only 2 things: extreme clarity of Scott at the top of the funnel and deep paranoia about what you trust at the bottom.